What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the top mistakes that people make when they are trying to grow their glute. What the F is wrong with me? Holy. Okay. Today we are going to be talking about the top mistakes that people make when they are trying to glow. Oh my god. Holy shit, I can't speak. All right, I had to take a breather there. Today we are going to be talking about the top mistakes that people make when they are trying to grow their glutes. Ta-da! Wow, I finally got that one out. That was terrifying. This is honestly such a common question. You know, how do I grow my glutes? What should I do? What should I eat? How should I work out? So today I'm going to take you through the mistakes that people make most commonly when they're trying to grow their glutes, and let's get into it. Number one mistake that people make is that they're not going heavy enough. This is something that I personally was doing for so long. I would go to the gym and I'd have leg day, and you know, everyone always has leg day. Leg day always burns, no matter how much weight you're using, no matter how many reps you're doing. Leg day burns, okay? It burns no matter what. But in order to build muscle, you're going to have to lift heavy weight. Why is this? Well, you have to push your body to do things that it's uncomfortable doing. You have to make it try to adapt to this new strong weight that it's not used to pushing. So you need to push a weight that is hard for you to do between 6 to 8 reps. This is the range where you'll make the most strength gains and muscle gains. So if you're using a weight where you're doing 8 to 10 easily, 10 to 12 easily, you get to the 12th rep and you feel like you could go for another 5, you're not going strong enough. And this is so common. I see girls do this all the time. I know it's terrifying to like push yourself to do heavier weight because you don't want to hurt yourself, but I promise you, if you're easily getting through 10 to 12 reps, you're not really feeling like you're pushing yourself to your fullest extent, you can do heavier weight without hurting yourself. So try out heavier weight, try the 6 to 8 rep range, and do this consistently, at least for the compound movements where you're using more than one muscle group. Try the 6 to 8 rep range with heavy weight so that you really feel your body pushing, because that's where you're breaking down the most muscle and making the most room for muscle growth. The second mistake is you're doing too much cardio. Listen, if your goal is to gain muscle, you should not be doing an hour, 30 minutes of cardio every single day, because that's just completely, they're negating each other. You're going to be maintained and in a plateau for way too long. If your real honest goal is to gain muscle, quit it with the cardio, okay? You could do like 15 minutes a couple days a week if you want to, but 30-minute sessions, hour-long sessions, all that is completely unnecessary when you're trying to gain muscle. Why is this? We need to be in a caloric surplus in order to gain muscle mass. This is because when we are working out, we're not actually gaining muscle at all or building muscle. We're tearing our muscle fibers apart. And the part where you build the muscle is when you're eating and when you're resting. So if we're not eating enough, or we're not in a caloric surplus, we're just maintaining the muscle mass we already have, or possibly decreasing it, that doesn't help anybody, now does it? So we need to be in a caloric surplus if we want to gain more muscle mass. And if we're doing too much cardio, we could be taking ourselves out of this surplus, especially if we're not eating enough as it is already. You're just going to be completely diminishing the amount of muscle mass that you can be building if you're doing too much cardio and not eating enough. The next most common mistake that I see people make is they're doing almost all banded work. And I don't mean adding resistance bands to lifting exercises. I mean just doing banded exercises. People will always go to the mats and just bang out a bunch of donkey kicks with some resistance bands, some fire hydrants, some leg lifts, whatever. And that's great for an activation or a burnout, or if you just are really short on time and you just want to get a nice pump. But you are not building any muscle when you're doing that. If you want to build muscle, literally build muscle, you have to practice progressive overload. Using bands, there is no progressively overloading your muscles with anything heavier. It's just a band. And the more you do it, the more you're just going to be plateaued for so long if you just do banded workouts for your entire life. I promise you that you will not build muscle. And the reason you might feel like a pump in your glutes or something like that is just because you are working your glutes and you're just feeling extra blood flow to your glutes, but you're not building muscle that way. Just use them for activation. You could even do just 2 sets of activation with them. Then put them in your locker or use them during your workouts, whatever, but go lift weight if you want to build muscle. So if you are going to lift weight, please make sure you are doing enough compound movements. I see so many people go into the gym and just bang out isolation movements. Compound movements, more than one muscle group. Isolation movements, just one muscle group. So isolation movements, glute kickbacks, hamstring curls, donkey kicks, all those are just isolation movements. Compound movements will be things like deadlifts, sumo squats, regular squats, leg press. These are all compound movements because they take more than one muscle group to complete. These are the exercises that you really want to prioritize during your routine, because the more compound movements you use, the stronger your overall lower body can get. If you're just doing isolation movements, you can only push such a certain amount of weight before it becomes too difficult for just one muscle group to take over. So if you're using all 3 muscles in your lower body muscle groups, then you are able to push heavier weight, which means you can become stronger and build more muscle mass. See? The next most common mistake is my little girl. LOL. Next most common mistake is that you're not giving yourself enough rest. I see this with girls all the time. They'll text me or DM me and be like, I train legs 4 times a week and I'm not seeing any growth. Yeah, no, you're not gonna see growth, because if you train your legs too much, you're not giving yourself any room to rest. And as we mentioned before, rest is where our muscle actually builds. So if you're not allowing your body time to rest, allowing your muscles time to rest and rebuild, you're just going to almost lose muscle mass in some cases. So you wanna make sure you're not overdoing it. So make sure you're not working out on sore muscles. Give yourself at least 2 days to recover, at least 1 day, but usually 2 days. And I will stick around probably like 3 times a week. I'll do legs. Sometimes it's just 2, depending on how sore I am throughout the week and how fatigued I feel like my muscles are. But please do not do 4 times a week. That is completely unnecessary. Please do not work them out back to back. Allow your body time to rest, because that is where your muscle grows, and you are so much better off doing it less than doing it more. This is an overall thing that you'll see with working out legs, is less is more. And it's so true. Doing too many exercises when you're working out is not good. Doing too many reps, working out too many times in a week, all those things can actually mitigate the amount of muscle mass that you're actually going to grow. So please do not do 4 times a week. Please allow your body time to rest. The last one is that you're not eating enough food. You've probably heard this one countless times. I just want to explain it all right here. As I said before, we need to be in a caloric surplus in order for our body to build bigger muscle, because when we're breaking down our muscles, they repair at rest with food. If it has more food to repair it back fuller and bigger, that's what it's going to do. So make sure you're eating enough food. With that, carbs are not bad. Carbs are our energy. They're the first macronutrient that is absorbed in the body and the first source of energy for our bodies. Protein, if you are one you hate protein, figure out, get your protein in, okay? Protein is, especially right after your workouts, it helps with protein synthesis, which is the production of new muscle cells, and that will, and as long as protein synthesis is greater than the protein breakdown that happens during your workouts, you will build muscle mass. And if you don't have enough protein in your body, the protein synthesis process is a lot smaller than if you had enough protein, if you consume enough protein in your diet rather. So make sure you're eating enough protein. If you really struggle eating protein, take a supplement. Just make sure you understand the balance between fats, carbs, and protein, which I can totally cover in another video. That is it for this one. Please, if you are making those mistakes, feel free to DM me. We can talk about it. I can help you out. And if you want to, you can also join my lower body challenge, which will be starting January 15th. This will be the 3rd group that's starting. I've been getting such good reviews and just so many happy girls who have joined the first 2 groups. So I really hope you guys decide to join or think about it. And if you are thinking about it, you can fill out the form in my website, which I'll put down below, or just reach out to me on my DM. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video, because we would appreciate it so much. Thanks for watching.